Hello and welcome to yet another exciting episode of My Capability Podcast, where we amplify real voices and push for a more inclusive Nigeria. I am your host, Lynn Agunja. Today, I'm joined by two phenomenal voices. They're not new to the podcast, but they keep the conversations bold and the mic lit. Mr. Tefa, say something, say hello, greet our
Hello,
audience.
thank you for having me. My name is Tefa Chekasi.
Mr. Kilanko, something for our guests.
Good morning, viewers. My name is Adeolu Kilanko, and I'm glad to be here this morning. Yeah.
On today's conversation, we are bringing the law to the people. I think that's how I want to put it.
Yeah.
We're bringing the law to the people. We are bringing the act to the people. We want to know if the Disability Act has delivered on its promise. So there is no other person to discuss this topic. There's no other person to bring life to it, aside how do I introduce Barrister Ikem now? How do I introduce him?
You have introduced him already.
I just introduced him. But yeah, so the president of Association of Lawyers with Disabilities in Nigeria, so he's a lawyer, number one.
Yes.
He's a person with disability. So as a lawyer, of course, he will understand the act more than, and this act also should serve him.
Yes.
So he should actually be able to tell us if he has delivered. Welcome to the show, Barrister Ikem Uchegbulam.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here.
And we're happy to have you here.
Thank you.
Yes.
So maybe I should repeat it should have been my first question, but let me still ask. Has the act delivered?
Yes, the act is delivering.
It's a working process.
Yeah, because the act is a living document. Once it has been enacted and passed into law, it becomes a living document. And then what really happens afterwards is each section of the law of the act is being unbundled. When you say a person with disability has right to employment, a person with disabilities, public organizations should ensure that as persons with disabilities should have as much as 5% employment workforce reserved for persons with disabilities. Then there are components around this particular section that you see. There's a whole lot that will go into it to bring it into perfection. Yeah. And when you say section 1 that has criminalized discrimination, then you begin to bring out what is discrimination. What are the actions that people will, then because it's law, you have to meet with the ingredients of proof. That is the most important thing.
Yes.
Proof. Because the court is a court of evidence. If you don't have strong proof, if you don't have local standard, you don't have a position to say I have been affected. If you cannot show that you have been affected, then the court cannot do anything. So the law has come. It's just 6 years, thereabouts, 6-7 years. Then some of the aspects of the law have been unbundled because the implementing agency has worked to a point to getting these things out. And remember, Nigeria has a very long history of neglect, stigmatization, and discrimination. So it looks like we have become part of the system when it comes to discrimination. So a lot of things have to be done to, one, strengthen the state of mind of people. Somebody who says, why not anybody that is at fault, get the person committed, get the person arrested, and then the other thing, you hear correctional center say that the place is congested. So you begin to wonder, where do we start and where do we get these things to? Then let me not, I believe the questions will come, one after the other.
Yes,
so let me not summarize the entire thing.
I was actually going to interject that up at this point, because I have an opinion about the act and several other acts in Nigeria, but particularly this Disability Act. I feel that it's a settlement for persons with disabilities. No, they've clamored for, we are discriminated against, we need this, we need that, and the government was like, or it's like, just, oh yeah, you guys have an act, right? It's more like a settlement. Because now we have an act. In terms of implementation, how far have we fared? So, for accessibility of the structures, 5 years was given. 5 years has elapsed. I haven't heard nor seen that the building was shut down because
It was inaccessible.
it was inaccessible. I haven't seen anything. So, okay, let me just maybe narrow my question. What aspect of the act has been unbundled and implemented? Fully. Like, what is the success?
Okay, let me tell you now. Let me tell you. The section 29 of the act that talked about 5% employment.
Okay.
Now, upon the enactment of the act and setting up of the Commission for Persons with Disabilities, and some policy documents were released around the issue of employment. Then a circular from the Secretary of the Government of the Federation was issued to government offices.
Okay.
Because the government offices are directly under the Secretary to the Government or under the presidency. Private organizations are private organizations. Now there is this argument that section 29 is talking where the public organization is saying there is talking about government.
Yes.
But some of us are saying no, it includes private organizations.
Yes.
Now some organizations that work around civil society, they are equally pushing the narrative that the act does not include private organizations. Now, the inability of the law to define public organizations at the end of it, at the definition section, has festered this confusion. Do you understand? Now, but there is a case in court already that is asking the court to declare a declaration by the court, Federal High Court in Lagos, that section 29 includes private organizations. Then there have been activities around law review, amendment to include the modality for getting who a private organization, how many people would you have in your employment that would determine that you must have a person with disability constituting 5%. But what government has done is to issue a mandatory circular to to government MDAs, and then the Federal Character Commission has included it as one of the conditions you meet at the time you're returning your vacancies. When vacancies are declared, and then they give you certificate of compliance, when you are coming back with your record of employed staff, you should have a disaggregated data of disability and disability type around the number of people. Then they will check it. If it does not meet with the 5%, they are not supposed to give you the final authorization to go to IPPIS. Because it's IPPIS that is the one that will now put you in the platform for payment.
Salaries, yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So government has been made to work and cover the insides. But then you discover that even with all this, you may have some erring organizations. And then that is where the law will begin to say, if you discover the officer that has committed this, then you'll be able to yank off the garb of government official and arrest that official as an individual and prosecute him for disability discrimination. So within the circle of employment, I believe the commission took employment, went into employment from beginning because there was no moratorium on employment. So they took it up and has gotten it to a point where every MDA in Nigeria is aware of 5%.
Okay.
Do you understand? So possibly we are looking out for complaints around non-compliance. Complaints around non-compliance. So it's when you have these complaints around non-compliance, then you begin the second phase of enforcement. That's where you begin to talk about sealing of buildings and all that.
So this is just a rhetorical question. You said government agencies declaring vacancies. That is if they actually declare, because we hear stories of who is doing every day in government agencies. But that's by the way. So are you saying that parts of the act that is yet to be unbundled, that persons with disabilities cannot leverage any section to seek justice?
Now they are being unbundled. I told you that there seem to be a very it seemed to be like ahead of others. Now section, what everybody I told somebody the other day, we were talking, I said what people see as the act working is what we see as physical accessibility. Our environment, has it conformed with access. Do you understand? Now the law provides for making environment accessible, but that act did not break down what constitutes proper accessibility. It did not provide for specifications. That's why, for instance, the ramp in this building has been described. I've told myself this is a killer ramp. Do you understand? But the owners of this building can be bragging somewhere that they have even provided for access ramps here.
Yes.
Are you getting me?
Yes.
Because when the law came into being, and then there was no regulation or standardization for specification, people went ahead and then put all manner of things as ramps. There's a popular hotel in Central Business Area. When you go there, you cannot do it alone. 2-3 people have to help you to. But then to them, even civil society organizations, donor organizations, they patronize them. Why? Because of that thing there that they describe as ramp. Do you understand? They patronize them.
Yes.
So, but in the absence of that specification, so that what it is in Wuse is what it will be in Maitama or Asokoro. Without that, then people will just do what they feel they want to do.
But it's okay. Barrister Ike, this is what I'm thinking. If they have to put all the specifications or unbundle the law with all the details of what it actually needs for it to be implemented, the law will be bogus. Will be a bogus document. The act in itself will be a bogus document. Is it that we need like a small guideline or something that will actually explain in details? I mean, I'm just imagine putting everything into the law. Say, okay, so we need about accessibility. This is the structure. This is the measurement. This is what it is for a ramp, for hand railing. All those details. Would the law be bogus?
Now that is the question.
Yeah.
But that is what has to be done.
Okay.
Do you understand? Now the law provides that you will make subsidiary legislations to be able to implement effectively. And that is why the commission, otherwise you could have put the law there and then and say police or any other person should administer. But then you realize that there should be a specialized agency that will be able to understand, interpret, do you understand, the content, the disability content. That is all what it is about. Because what you see from your perspective as the normal thing certainly will not be what I'm seeing. Using the ramp again as an instance. Do you understand?
Yes.
He say, why not be grateful that we will not carry you at least, but we can hold you to come down. We are not going to carry you, but we are going to help. But then I'll say, no, I need a slide. I need something, a ramp that on my own, independently, I can use. Do you understand? I can actually decide to come to the office anytime I like and access my office or access somebody without looking around for help.
Yeah.
Because the entire aim of the law, UNCRPD, is about independent living.
That's true.
Yes.
That's true.
Because you have independent living. Then I have right to independent living.
That's true.
That is what the law has come to do. Now, that unbundling brought into Persons with Disabilities Regulation 2023.
Okay.
Do you understand? It's in circulation. So when people say, come and audit a place, we need you to audit, you say, refer to the regulation. You give it to your engineer, your engineers will fix your environment.
But with this regulation, would they be term laws? Because sometimes when I come up with guidelines, people begin to say guidelines are not laws. And if we bring out subsidiary
No,
regulations,
because
would they be termed as law?
they are laws. They are laws. People make that mistake because they subsidiary is a subsidiary legislation because it is coming out of a law. There is a law that is authorizing it.
Okay.
Do you understand? There is a law that is empowering it.
Okay.
As long as the content of that subsidiary law does not conflict with the provision of the substantive law. If where there is a conflict, that's where they will begin to say,
Okay.
you do not use subsidiary to expand or to change the law. But it has to work under the law because it's under subsidiary. Now after regulation, you can still have guidelines that will now say this is it. Now I'm aware that the commission is in days to come is going to launch a guideline on physical accessibility. Do you understand?
Yes.
Now that guideline is to the effect that you need a national accessibility certificate of compliance. Do you understand? You need a national disability certificate of compliance
From organizations?
from the National Commission.
Oh, okay. Issued to organizations?
Issued to organizations.
Okay.
And you cannot, the two main ingredients of getting this certificate is compliance with the provisions of the act, the regulation. The guideline is only to tell you how you're going to go about it, getting your certificate. And now somebody will say, why do I need the certificate? Do you understand? Now that's why people are wondering. When these laws have somehow bought time for people. Because if you come here now and say, let us, if you go to court now, the court will ask you some pertinent questions. And that those pertinent questions that will be asked by the court, if you don't have it, you lose the case. Are you getting me?
Yes.
Now, if you need a certificate of compliance, if you are a contracting firm, if you're a firm that seek BPP approval, you need the certificate of compliance.
Yeah.
Because what it will mean is that you are qualified. You are in an inclusive organization. Then if you are inclusive organization, you are trying to lay your hand on the resources of the Federal Republic of Nigeria via contract. So if you are going through that route, then you should ensure that your organization is an organization that is inclusive, that has put disability into perspective.
Okay.
Is the law not looking beautiful now?
See, yeah, on paper actually. it is.
No,
But looking for
no.
It's always a problem.
No,
Okay.
no, that is where now I hate to talk from ALDIN, I hate to talk as if I'm in the commission.
Yes.
Do you understand? I hate to talk like that. But then knowledge, because of knowledge, is, do you understand?
Yes.
This is coming. Are you getting me?
Yes.
Now, let me tell you something. The Corporate Affairs Commission equally has, under the regulation, a responsibility. If you're going for annual returns, I know South Africa goes for annual returns.
Yes.
If you go for annual returns, and then they ask you for one of the documents you are going to bring, this window might be from next year or this year's annual return, because most annual returns, they are not opening portal of annual return for 2025. So people are stopping at 2024. So this year you could be going for annual return. They ask you for National Certificate of Disability Compliance.
Okay.
And I think
Now, if you don't have it, you will not pay for annual returns. And if your annual return is not up to date, in the portal, you will be written inactive.
Yes.
And the people you do business with, when they check online, see that you are inactive, that means you have lost your registration, incorporation. Do you understand? You have lost it for that year. You have lost it. Then they cannot deal with you.
But
Is the law not looking beautiful?
Barrister Ikem, let me ask this question. We have actually dwelt on accessibility, accessible structures and the likes. So would you consider the ILO accessibility standard as a standard for Nigeria? Right? Because yes, we always want to refer organizations to the accessibility standard developed by ILO, I think.
Yes.
Yes. So would you think is something that should be, at least for now, until we have all of that in the Disability Act, is it a standard that
We already have a regulation. We have localized the law. We looked at, the system looked at international best practices and then come up with what is suitable for Nigeria.
Yes.
So why do we need to refer to ILO?
Okay.
Okay.
The Persons with Disabilities regulation is out there.
Okay.
Do you understand? It's in a commission website. Some individuals have it. It's even in circulation.
And it has all the measurements.
It has everything.
Standards,
Yes.
Okay.
I think I
Everything.
I've seen it as well.
Okay.
But it's
Ikem.
So this is what I'm thinking in my head. So for companies to file their annual return, they need that certificate of compliance, which is supposed to be issued by the National Commission for Persons with Disability. How are they going about getting it? Because some of those projects that are still being implemented or executed, even under the federal government, tenders and projects, they are not accessible.
Now, this 2025 procurement window, I'm not aware it has opened. Do you understand?
Yes.
So all these things are going to play out. Somebody told me the other day that some organizations were like going, asking whether they can just get the certificate. See, there is no bypassing the system. Do you understand? So it's for the commission to put every modality in place and roll it out. And I'm aware that I learned that there's a rollout plan. Do you understand? So once it's rolled out, then it becomes something that people will now begin to feel it. Do you understand? Now we have said encourage persons with that. Okay, sue from outside, but then realizing that there are things that are being put in place. Do you understand?
Yes.
That somebody could hold on to as a defense. For instance, last year, some persons with disabilities, with collaboration with ALDIN, they took Zenith Bank, GTB, then they took them to court. And then they were talking about inaccessibility of the bank. Do you understand?
Yes.
So the matter was struck out. Do you understand?
Yes.
Because the court was considering what exactly. It said the people that went to court, they were not persons with disabilities.
What's their interest?
The complainant. So what is your interest? And then again, it says there is a moratorium on. There is a 5-phase moratorium.
Yes.
Which
So you brought the matter within the window of the moratorium. You see,
Okay.
see technicality, and somebody will know. Do you understand?
Yes.
So it was tested, and that case was thrown out. Go for it against the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So the matter was thrown out. But now, to interpret Section 29 is in court again. Incorporated Trustees of Treasures Relief Foundation. You understand? To interpret whether Section 29, includes private public organizations, especially the banks. So that one is in court now. ALDIN is part of that case.
I'm just thinking. Sorry to cut you. What, is it public institutions or maybe public infrastructures? Because now I'm thinking about it now. For instance, now Millennium Park is under a private management, and there are other facilities that are being.
It is?
Yeah, it's under private investment company.
Okay.
There are other facilities that take for instance now, MTN call centers. There are thousands of people working there. And other call centers, other market squares, are we going to say because they are not public institutions, remembering that they are public places, that will not make them accessible?
Now for physical infrastructure,
yeah,
is a public infrastructure.
Okay.
Do you understand? But for the entire act is public organizations.
Okay.
You do understand? Because they are looking at I think the law envisaged some whether it was by mistake or intention to use those words, which has created some form of confusion. Like now you're wondering this. Do you understand? But then when it comes to physical infrastructure, it's public buildings. So even if it's owned by Mr. Dele, who has erected a building for the public, for instance, a hotel, and then you will equally argue some of these buildings are riding on a corporate name. They are registered companies, so they have become public. Do you understand? It's no longer being owned by one man, except where you have a business name that you register and you are the sole owner. Otherwise, every other company you register must have a director. Even if you may have put your wife, your child, and all that, it's a public thing.
Yes.
So that physical infrastructure. But then we are reading the meaning into it. We are trying to get to a point where you understand, like the case in court, you say, if you are running, just like you say MTN or any of these companies, you say we are private, public, then we are not under any this thing to employ 5%. You do understand? 5% affects the human life. It's not about structure. It's about economic life of a people. Do you understand?
Yes.
If you're a person with disability, you have gone to school and you don't have a job, you may go back into begging because man must work.
Yes, definitely.
Do you understand? You cannot carry your papers, your degree, and say you will not eat the degree. You need a job. And that is why it looks like it's the hallmark of the legal provision.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yes, sir. So, sorry, earlier you said a case was struck out because the persons who took that case to court were not directly affected. So, from the legal perspective, must I be directly affected before I will take a complaint to court?
Yes, the law talks about local standard. Do you have the legal right to bring this, or you are a meddlesome interloper? Like you're just walking, you're just walking out. You see two people, just go put your hand. So that is how law says.
So in a nutshell, mind your business.
So that is what.
But then, so there was something that you said about what people want to see as the act working is probably shutting down the buildings that are not accessible. But let me say this, and to bring me to my question. When we talk about bad governance in Nigeria, something might be happening in Abuja, something good might be happening in Abuja, but how the literate woman in the village interprets good governance is when she goes to the market and she's able to buy a bag of rice for probably 70,000 naira or less, right? Or
10,000.
Or her money is not chasing fewer goods. That's the only way she can interpret it. So, as a person with disability, how do I, let's say if I'm a person with disability, rather, how do I interpret, how do I know that the act is working for me? Let's say I stay in my village. If I go to Zenith Bank or any bank at all, or go to any public building and I'm not able to access the structure, it means that the act is not working. That's the way I will choose to interpret it. So is there any little win that the act has recorded? And when I mean win, let's say a person with disability took a case to court and used the act, of course, as a support that this is what the act is. My rights was violated, and it was a win. What win has the act actually recorded?
Yeah.
Now the challenge, the economic challenge in the country is affects a whole lot of people. I know there are people that somebody may slap you now. When you remember that you go to police, lay a complaint, and then they talk about arrest and all the logistics surrounding it that may come to you. You may decide to endure the slap.
or go traditional.
You understand? Even traditional, the next day when you go to your worship center,
You go to your village.
the man preaching may make you feel like you have committed the worst sin on earth. Why did you? Do you understand? So these things are complex. It affects people.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
What it takes to go to court, most times, the people you are talking about do not have that means. ALDIN has set up a scheme where you have pro bono for now advice, because we are looking for support to be able to say we will go to court, represent you free of charge. But that cost of litigation has to be paid by someone.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So we are launching out to say, okay, launch a fund and let people contribute so that persons with disabilities can actually assert their rights free of charge through ALDIN. Right now, we do legal advisory free. Do you understand? Because you can call up the secretariat, and then a lawyer will be attached and you give you legal advice. Sometimes you write letters for them free and all that. But then there is that gap of litigation. So if you leave a person with disability to actually litigate, looking at cost of disability and the cost of litigation, you may not see what you're doing. So most people have taken the route of writing to the commission, and administratively reprieve has come to the commission. And now, because for now it would have appeared that attention is with the government. In fact, the drafters of the law had government in mind.
Yeah.
If you read and understand it, it has government in mind. And then that is why most cases that has to connect to government is handled administratively.
Yeah.
In my place, they say a lion does not eat another lion. I don't know what you make out of that, because if you report a case to the commission involving maybe the supervisory ministry, are you going to sue the supervisory ministry? And moreover, the lawyers you used to sue from the commission are government lawyers.
Yeah.
Somebody will wonder why administratively. So it's administrative that way. And that is why even National Human Rights Commission, I'm not aware, is on record that they have sued the federal government.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
The government agency,
So the litigation is from the outside. But because of economic gaps, do you understand? And other well-meaning rich Nigerians may not consider discrimination as something they will help somebody to sue on.
Yeah.
Are you
That's
getting
true,
me?
that's
So
true.
if we say South Africa, please, if you have any grant or something, then find a way to accommodate. Do you understand? And now they will tell you that donor bodies, they don't fund litigation.
Yeah.
There's problem here and there.
You see that? see, there are limitations.
Yeah.
But it's like,
Do you understand? So it's not like why haven't you had any case in court? Are you getting me?
Yeah.
Because we still have a system where we believe that the highest thing you can do to somebody is go to court, take him to court.
Yeah.
We still have that thing.
It's a major slogan.
In developed countries, in litigation is a very as simple as that. You are eating in a restaurant, you see cockroach in your food. Even there are public interest litigation. They just tell them you relax in your house. They go to court. They claim damages within a short period of time. It is being paid. It's paid, and then you share the money. It's not what it's all about. The lawyer takes his own. You take your own. You move on. Next time they will not be careless to have cockroach in their food.
So this is what I'm thinking, because the major problem is the major problem that you have raised. That's cost of litigation and the time it also takes to get judgment. Considering the peculiarity of this case, of course, persons with disability don't have 5 or 10 years to take someone to court to do back and forth before the right thing is done. What is the way forward? How can we make this thing simpler? That, okay, if there is a breach of the Disability Act in a particular ministry or department or agency, how do we seek redress, and that it will come within a very short period of time? Because as you have raised also, administratively they can't sue each other, but what mechanisms do we have to seek redress within a short period of time?
See, based on the fact that access to justice is a very strong component of the UN Convention, the GDS commitment. Nigeria recently put in issues relating to access to justice. So we want to cash in on that to push for specialized courts. Specialized courts, at least each state, let there be a specialized court that will handle issues relating to disability.
Interesting.
Okay.
Interesting.
Recently, the commission trained some judges on, on accessibility and discrimination. The court should know, the justice actors should know about disability. If they don't know, they cannot. Where you go to court and the judge will ask you, are you blind? he or she has reduced about 30-40% of your composure.
Yes.
Do you understand? Are you blind? So you begin to, all the things, all the support around a blind, a visually impaired lawyer to be able to address the court and do his case. A judge may not be patient enough to have him begin to shuffle papers and all that. So next time his case is coming out, discrimination, he may say, okay, in the cost list, put his case last. By the time he has waited all day, and yet the law says that where there is a queue, a person with disability should be addressed first. Now in court, you begin to wonder, the senior advocate of Nigeria that has the right of audience, first, audience, will you now keep him down and address the case of a lawyer with disability? Do you understand? So it looks like wherever we push and come out as to push compliance with the law, you discover that there is a serious conflict. Do you understand? Because of our background, you begin to say this person is a lawyer with disability, he has his case. Are you going to give audience to him first before a senior advocate of Nigeria?